How y'all doing this morning? Welcome to Old Dog Woodshop. What we're going to tackle today is we're going to start dealing with some of the scraps that you acquire during the process of building other items. While you're building these other items, you always end up with a pile of leftover pieces. This is just a small sampling of what I have left. Swing over here to the other side, and the whole back section of my dang workbench or saw table over here has got parts and pieces left. What we're going to do to use some of them scraps today is we're going to tackle a project. Basically, it's a wooden cross inlaid in the middle of all these pieces. Here's a drawing and your parts list on the side. Now, I've done made some of these in the past, and this is what they look like. And they just mount on the wall wherever you prefer to make them. This one is not finished. It's been sanded and everything. That's the front, and you look at the back. Got some hooks on her eyes on there for your wire to hang on your wall. These are simple to make. Parts are easy to cut, easy to organize. What I've done to expedite the process in the past is I went ahead and built me a jig. And you notice there's a bat on the jig. I had to build a couple of bat houses, and that's where I had to paint one of the bats, and that's where that come from. And each jig is set up for the specific parts. So once you get it all placed together, you can just stick the parts in there, put your backing strip on there. Backing strip goes up through here. And also I glue in between each one of these joints to help hold it together. What we'll do first is we'll get all these parts cut down to 1.5 inch widths. All parts and pieces except for the 2 stringers on the back that hold everything together are 1.5 inch wide. Parts you're going to need is you're going to need 2 pieces that are 11.5 inches long, 2 pieces that are 6 inches, 2 at 5.5, 2 at 8 inches, and 2 at 7 inches. And then for the strips on the back, let me get you a measurement for those since I didn't write it down. They're going to be pieces cut that are 1 inch wide and 9 3/4 inch long. You'll need 2 of those. Plus you'll need some eyes and some wire or different kind of device to hang your cross on the wall. First thing I'm going to do is start getting some of these pieces cut down. I'll use the table saw and the miter saw to get everything, all the parts and pieces cut. What we're going to do first is I got my table saw set up to 1.5 inches, and I'm going to rip some of the pieces down to 1.5 inches. Now that I got a bunch of pieces ripped down to 1.5 inches, what I'll do is I'll go over to my compound miter saw, and you'll notice on the back side of my fence here, I got markings for each one, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9 3/4, and 11.5, and that'll expedite the measurement and process of cutting these parts up for this specific project. We'll start by cutting some of the longer ones. So we need 2 pieces 11.5, and these pieces ain't going to make 2, so I'll cut 11.5 and then cut an 8 out of this one. Lay it up there, get your marking, 11.5 inches. Cut down 11.5, take it over to 8. Not enough to grab on that side, so I'll hold on this side. Got it down to 8, and that leaves me that much left over. Can't really do nothing with that. So that goes in the trash bin. Try to maximize any piece that you have so you have just a little bit to throw away. Now we got our 2 pieces 11 and a half and 2 pieces 8. We're going to need 2 pieces 7 inches. So put our on the 7-inch mark. Got 7 inches. After 2 pieces 7 inches, what we end up left with is a piece that's 5.5 inches that we can use. So you put that piece on the 5.5. That gives us just a little bit left over. Throw that in the garbage. So we need one more piece 5.5, and then we need 4 pieces that are 6 inches long. We'll take some of these smaller ones that I cut down. We got our 6-inch mark right there. So I can take 4 of these, line them up with that 6-inch mark, and cut all 4 pieces at the same time. A little bit of scrap off each one goes in the bin. Now we need one more at 5.5. Another one of these small pieces, put up at 5.5. What we need now is some pieces, 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 9 3/4. We got our 9 3/4 mark right there. Get us a piece of this 1 inch. Bird 1. There's our 2 pieces that are 9 3/4. Now we got all our pieces cut here. We got our 2 pieces that are 11 and a half, 2 pieces of 1 inch by 9 3/4. You got your 8, you got your 7, you got 4, 6, and 2 at 5.5. Since all our pieces are cut, we can go ahead and get the jig out. I'll get it moved in place, and we'll start the assembly. This assembly process is pretty easy when you get your jig set up. You got 11 and a half, 11 and a half, 6, 6, 5.5, 8, and 7. Pretty simple. First thing you'll do is take your 11 and a half, and you can just slide them right in there. It's a little bit snug, so these may be just a tad bit long, but we can make it work. You get your 11 and a half in there. Next thing you're going to do is do your 6s. You got 4 6s. 2 will go here, okay, and 2 will go down here. Now when you put your 6 in, you got a spot here about 1 inch on the end. You're going to put your hand right there, and we're going to run a bead of glue down this portion right here. We'll stick that one in place. Got a little bit of overlap right there, but that's all right. We're going to sand all that down. Same thing on the other end. Put your bead of glue on there. You can spread it out if you want to. 6 there, 6 here, and 6 here. Same process. Got about 1 inch. It don't need no glue. If you put glue on it, it ain't no big deal. It'll clean off. 6 inch there. Got about 1 inch. Same thing. Bead of glue. Set it right in there. Next two pieces you're going to use is your 5 1/2. You got two 5 1/2, which are going to go down right down here. Same process on your 5 1/2. You got about 1 inch on the end that ain't going to have no glue on it. Both sides going to be the same. There you be the glue down there. This is all going to hook together here shortly. Next piece you're going to need in the middle is your 8-inch pieces. So we got two at 8 inches. Same process. Got 1 inch down on the end. You see this is starting to make your cross. This one here, you got 1 inch on this end and a tad bit on this end that you don't need no glue. You can stand it up just like that right there, and you can eyeball it where you need to put your glue. That way you ain't trying to guess at nothing. Slide that one in. Next pieces we're going to put in is your 7-inch. These are going to be glued all the way down on one side. And on the other side, about 3/4. You notice there's a gap there. We're going to push that up. Even if your parts are not accurate, we'll show you how to line everything up here in just a minute. 8-inch parts look a tad bit long, so what I'm going to do before we get too carried away, I'm going to take them out, carry them back over here to the miter saw, and do a little trim on them. Do a little trim on them. We'll go ahead and put in this other one. Glue all the way down here, all the way down this side. This is your other 7-inch piece. I got a little bit of misalignment in my parts, so what I like to do is I'll take my little square and I'll set this in here and I'll push all these parts together so they line up in the middle. So this edge is straight from the top down to the bottom. You do that on both sides. Your 6s, your 8s, everything needs to line up. 7s, 5 1/2 can remain to the outside. So this right here gives you your basic cross in your jig. Now what we're going to do is we'll take these 1 inch by 9 3/4, and we're going to take them and line them up on the side, and we'll staple each piece together. Put your bead of glue down there, and you can take a 1 inch piece, lay it on the end, line it up with your two 11 1/2 inch pieces. You set this one in place. A little over center on this one, a little over center on that one. Making sure it's square. It's going to be in the back, but square you need to make sure. Then what we'll do is we'll throw a staple in each one of these. We'll do that same process on the other side. Bead of glue. Throw your piece over here, get yourself lined up. You're going to staple it in place. What you're going to do now, since you got all the pieces stapled together, is we're going to go ahead and we'll take it out of the jig. Just slightly pull up. We had this one piece that was real snug down here. And there you go. Only thing you need to do now is let your glue dry, and you'll insert the eyes on the back, insert you a piece of wire, and just sand it up a bit, put you a finish on it, and hang it on the wall. What you can do is you'll install two eyes. Got an eye here, got an eye there, and I got me some picture hanging wire. Run that wire across there where you can hang it up on the wall. You can put it anywhere you want to. What you do now is spray you a coat of polyurethane on there. Hang it up. You're good to go. Some people you can also put some string lights in the back of it to light it up from the back. And that's one of the projects that you can do to utilize a bunch of your scrap around. I appreciate y'all watching these videos, and you can like and subscribe. That would be great. Make comments, constructive criticism, anything that you want to say, as long as it ain't real derogatory. You know, don't use any foul language or anything. But you know, I'm a grown man. I can take any kind of criticism you might want to throw my direction. Listen, y'all be safe, and we'll see you next time on Old Dog Woodshop.